ابھی ہم ایک نظم سنیں گے، نشان ساتھ ہیں اتنے کہ کچھ شمار نہیں۔
شان ساتھ ہے اتنے کہ کچھ شمار نہیں، ہمارے دین کا قیسوں پہ ہی مدار نہیں، نشان ساتھ ہے اتنے کہ کچھ شمار نہیں، ہمارے دین کا قیسوں پہ ہی مدار نہیں، نشان ساتھ ہے اتنے۔ یوں ہی کہو نا ہمیں لوگو کافروں مرتد، ہمارے دل کی خبر تم پہ آشکار نہیں، ہمارے دل کی خبر تم پہ آشکار نہیں، نشان ساتھ ہے اتنے۔ امام وقت کا لوگو کرو نا تم انکار، جو جھوٹے ہوتے ہیں وہ پاتے اقتدار نہیں، جو جھوٹے ہوتے ہیں وہ پاتے اقتدار نہیں۔
ابھی ہم نے حضرت امیر المومنین ایدہ اللہ تعالیٰ بنصر العزیز کا ایمان افروز خطاب سنا، جس میں حضور انور نے گزشتہ ایک سال میں ہونے والے اللہ تعالیٰ کے افضال کا ذکر فرمایا۔ حضور انور نے جماعت احمدیہ کے افراد کو خوشخبری دی کہ اللہ تعالیٰ کے فضل سے دنیا بھر میں جماعت احمدیہ کے ہر شعبے میں ترقیات کا سلسلہ جاری ہے، مساجد بن رہی ہیں، قرآن پاک کی اشاعت کا تراجم کا سلسلہ جاری ہے، خدمت خلق کے بہت سے منصوبہ جات پر عمل ہو رہا ہے۔ حضور پرنور کی زبان مبارک سے یہ خوشخبریاں سن کر دل حمد سے بھر گئے اور جلسہ گاہ نعرہ تکبیر اللہ اکبر سے گونجتا رہا۔ حضور انور نے احباب جماعت کو یہ بھی خوشخبری دی کہ دوران سال اللہ تعالیٰ کے فضل سے 2,17,000 سے زائد بیعتیں حاصل ہوئی ہیں۔ یہ سن کر بھی جلسہ گاہ نعرہ تکبیر سے گونج اٹھا۔
I absolutely agree. I think Mubarak Sahab, alhamdulillah, is probably the only word that comes to mind right now. Alhamdulillah that we had the opportunity to listen to yet another blessed address of Hazur Anwar Ayyadullah Ta'ala Aziz. Alhamdulillah that we are able to witness the strides the Jamaat has made in 1 year alone under the guidance and leadership of Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen. And alhamdulillah with that, Mubarak Sahab, that the second day of this year's Jalsa Salana has successfully come to a close. Well, almost. As we're cruising through this spiritual gathering, let's try to get more insight into the invaluable guidance Hazur gives to different parliaments and people from across the globe during his tours. We're going to go outside to Hamad Khan Sahib, who is joined by Safwan Chaudhry Sahib. Assalamu alaikum, Hamad Sahib.
Wa alaikum assalam, Raza Sahib, Jazakallah. And yes, dear viewers, you join us again here at the flag area, and I have the privilege, actually, of being in the company of Safwan Chaudhry Sahib, who is the Director of Media Relations for the Jamaat in Canada. Safwan Sahib, thank you for joining us. And we just heard that awe-inspiring address by Huzur, in which he spoke about all of the various places around the world where the Jamaat continues to spread. And we see miracles really in terms of the effect that that has on the lives of ordinary people. And this year on MTA we're talking about Tabligh, we're talking about putting the message, the peaceful message of Islam Ahmadiyyat out there. And over the last 20 years, Huzur has really focused his efforts in many different ways, but especially in addressing even people outside of the Jamaat, including parliaments, including world leaders, and at the various peace conferences of the Jamaat. You've had the opportunity firsthand to be able to experience that as well within the Canada Jamaat. So tell us a little something about Huzur's efforts and the impact that they've had.
Hamad Sahib, as we just listened to this riveting address, it was as if we all went on a global journey. We went around the world from Africa to North America, from Asia to Europe, about how the Jamaat is blossoming and these seeds are revealing themselves in the form of dreams, and these stories are remarkable. And this message indeed is not just for Ahmadi Muslims, it is for world leaders, and it is a message that it is the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat that is taking the world on a trajectory towards peace. You see, the hallmark of this Khilafat has been to take the message of Islam Ahmadiyyat to all corners of the world. Huzur has been a tireless advocate who has spoken in the European Parliament, Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., Parliament Hill in Canada, and right here in Westminster, giving a very clear, a very concise message. He's authored a book called World Crisis and Pathway to Peace, where he has written letters to the Prime Minister of Israel, to the President of the Russian Federation, and the President of the United States of America, with one very clear message, that you must abide by absolute justice. And we're seeing that justice happening in real life, and tens of thousands around the world, and their hearts are turning towards Ahmadiyyat.
And it's been a consistent message, hasn't it? Because every single time that beloved Huzur speaks at one of these events and one of these opportunities, the consistency of that message, ringing out in terms of peace and justice, in terms of the way in which people should be treated, has been there every single time.
You know, today we're at the Jalsa Salana UK, which is among the largest international Jalsas. But this vision of the promised Messiah alayhi salam of Jalsa Salana has become a global phenomenon. And of course, Ahmadi Muslims look forward to both their international and domestic Jalsa Salana. But what unique trend is forming is that non-Ahmadi Muslims are flocking to this convention because of that very message. And Hazrat Khalifatul-Masih today delivered how the hearts of people are opening for Islam Ahmadiyyat. And not just for Ahmadis and non-Ahmadis, but we're seeing, today we heard from elected officials who sat through this entire address here in the same hall.
Yep.
And elected officials from around the world who have started to see the message of Khalifatul-Masih from 10 years ago, where he was cautioning them that the world is barreling towards crisis.
Yep.
We have war at our doorstep right here in Europe. And His Holiness has given a concise message that there is a pathway to peace. There is an off-ramp here. And he's telegraphed a very clear path to get towards peace. And he has also said that all Ahmadis should be praying for world peace, as it is our responsibility to guide not just Ahmadi Muslims, but the world towards this direction.
Jazakallah, Safwan Sahib. Amazing, and a beautiful summary. And as we've been discussing, Huzur has taken so many opportunities to put out that message to world leaders, and at every point he's made every effort to help guide them to honor peace and justice. So let's now watch a documentary on how Huzur has done this in many parliaments around the world.
In the world of diplomacy and politics, it is rare to witness a religious leader who fearlessly steps onto the global stage, addressing parliaments and admonishing world leaders. Yet, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, Khalifatul-Masih V, may Allah be his helper, the spiritual head of the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community, defies convention. For almost 2 decades, he has taken Islam's message of justice, peace, and the protection of the weak to the hallowed halls of power. From the grand chambers of the British Houses of Parliament to the iconic Capitol Hill, his powerful voice resonates, urging leaders to navigate the path of righteousness and avoid the perils of warfare and the looming shadow of a catastrophic world war. Join us on this extraordinary journey as we delve into the profound impact of Hazrat Khalifatul-Masih and his unwavering commitment to address parliaments.
खिलाफत क्या है एक फज़ले अज़ीम मेरा बेरहमा है सरासर नूर और रहमत इल्म और हिकमत का गुलिस्तान है।
Let's embark on this journey that commences at the esteemed US Capitol Hill. It was a day etched in history, the 27th of June 2012, when Hazrat Khalifatul-Masih V stepped forward to deliver a powerful plea for peace during a momentous press conference held at the Capitol Hill. In the presence of an international assembly of media outlets, he eloquently emphasized the crucial importance of genuine equality, responding to their thought-provoking inquiries.
The truth is that peace and justice are inseparable. You cannot have one without the other. And certainly, this principle is something that all wise and intelligent people understand. Islam has drawn our attention to various means for peace. It requires absolute justice. It requires truthful testimony to always be given. It requires that our glances are not cast enviously in the direction of the wealth of others. And it requires that the developed nations put aside their own vested interests and instead help and serve the less developed and poorer nations with a truly selfless attitude and spirit.
Madam Speaker, it's my honor today to welcome to the House of Representatives His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad. He is with us today in the gallery.
Shifting our focus to the European Parliament on the 4th of December 2012, a significant occasion unfolded as the 5th Khalifa delivered a historic keynote address in Brussels. In the presence of distinguished guests representing 30 countries, Hazur emphasized the importance of peace through unity and addressed pressing issues, including increased immigration and the pursuit of global peace.
The cruelties must be stopped because if they are allowed to spread, then the flames of hatred will surely engulf the entire world to such an extent that people will soon forget about the troubles caused by the current economic crisis. Instead, they will face a much more horrifying state of affairs. There will be such a huge loss of life that we cannot even comprehend or imagine. Thus, it is the duty of the European countries who suffered great losses during the Second World War to learn from their past and save the world from destruction. To do this, they must fulfill the requirements of justice and be willing to accept their responsibilities.
As the Khalifa's impactful journey unfolded, he graced the UK Houses of Parliament on the 11th of June 2013, commemorating the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat's UK centenary. A notable reception ensued, attracting esteemed guests including the Deputy Prime Minister, Secretaries of State and parliamentarians. In his address, the Khalifa highlighted the community's deep loyalty, dedication and unwavering commitment to peace.
Islam puts so much emphasis on the importance of religious tolerance that it will be impossible to find such high standards anywhere else. Other people tend to believe that until other religions are proven to be false, they are unable to prove the truth of their religion. Islam's approach is very different because it teaches that whilst Islam is a true religion sent for all of mankind, the truth is that all prophets of God were sent to all people and nations of the world. Therefore, Islam is completely against compulsion and extremism, and rather it advocates peace and harmony at all levels of society.
Well, I think that the community has contributed a very great deal to the wider life of community here in the United Kingdom, and in so many different ways. I was struck by the remarks he made about the importance of peace in the community and the importance of being part of the wider community and the work that is done within the wider community, and a very clear message, I think, for all of us as to the part that we should be playing.
Well, I've seen it in my own constituency where the Ahmadi community are very welcome residents, and I think what they've really done is helped a lot of us to know people of Islam in a very personal way, and I think we've seen the values of peace, which frankly are not always the images you get across the media, and we've seen those from the Ahmadi people that we've all met in our own constituencies, and I really would commend the community for their close engagement with politicians of all parties, and for what they've done to spread a very different message about Islam, which I think has been very inspirational.
In November 2013, His Holiness embarked on a significant journey to New Zealand's national parliament, where Hazur delivered a compelling address calling for global peace. With a strong appeal for justice, he shed light on the devastating consequences of modern warfare and stressed the vital importance of establishing worldwide harmony.
And so, as the head of the worldwide Muslim community, it is my duty that I should draw the attention of the world towards establishing peace. I consider this my obligation because Islam's very meaning is peace and security. If certain Muslim countries carry out or promote hate-filled acts of extremism, it should not lead to the conclusion that Islamic teachings promote disorder or strife.
It was a very important message, and I think that it is a message that can be welcomed and accepted by everyone.
Well, it was very inspirational. I came here not really knowing what to expect. I knew a little bit about His Holiness and the message he has, but I found it very inspirational.
दीन अहमद का जो आज सालार है, तीर हाथों में उसके न तलवार है, साथ फौजों की कोई न यलगार है, इब्न मंसूर की एक ललकार है। दीन अहमद का जो आज सालार है, तीर हाथों में उसके न तलवार है, साथ फौजों की कोई न यलगार है, इब्न मंसूर की एक ललकार है।
In February 2014, the prestigious Conference of World Religions took place at Guildhall in London, marking a historic occasion. It served as a prominent platform for Hazrat Khalifatul-Masih to deliver a profound keynote address centered around the theme, God in the 21st Century. Esteemed faith leaders, politicians and diplomats from across the globe assembled to eagerly listen to his enlightening discourse.
My faith in my religion increases when I read the prophecies and guidance of the Quran and of the Holy Prophet, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, about the latter days. Both the Quran and the Holy Prophet, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, prophesied that the time would come when Muslims would forget the true teachings of Islam and would not follow the Quran. They further prophesied that those Muslims who would call themselves religious clerics and leaders would in reality be the source of strife, corruption, and disorder. This is exactly what we are witnessing today. As I have said, when I observe all of this, my faith does not diminish, but rather increases. I do not become frustrated, and nor do I lose hope, because where the Quran and the Holy Prophet, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, prophesied about the dire need of today's world, they also gave glad tidings that for the sake of reviving true Islam, a person would be sent from amongst the Muslims who would be the promised Messiah and the Imam Mahdi, the guided one. He would be sent to end all religious wars and at every level of society would transform all forms of cruelty into peace and harmony. He would work tirelessly to fulfill these noble objectives and would infuse the true spirit of Islam amongst his followers.
I think it's not so many years ago that people thought faith had had its day and was on the way out, so I think that's been proved to be decisively wrong.
Coming together like this and hearing each other from different faith traditions and hearing the common notion that we all strive for peace is quite significant.
In September 2014, Ireland welcomed the head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community as he visited the National Parliament, the Oireachtas at Leinster House in Dublin. Meeting with parliamentarians, His Holiness discussed the community's humanitarian work and the importance of serving others, despite facing persecution in certain countries.
This is why the founder of the Ahmadiyya community claimed that when he appeared, he claimed that I have come for two main purposes. One, to bring human being closer to their Creator, and secondly, to let the people realize and understand the importance of their duties towards their fellow beings.
Canada's National Parliament became the venue for another historic address in October 2016 by Hazrat Khalifatul-Masih. Welcomed by the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and many esteemed guests, he called for equality, justice and unity in society, emphasizing the significance of upholding human values and creating a harmonious world.
In this age, when the fear of Islam is on the increase in much of the world, let me reassure all of you that Islam is not what you commonly see or hear portrayed in the media. As far as my knowledge of Islam is concerned, I only know of that Islam whose teachings are based on its name. The literal meaning of the word Islam is peace, love, and harmony. And all of its teachings are based upon these noble values.
What I'm hearing from His Holiness is this message of peace and bringing people together in the respect of our religious belief, our freedom of expression, and in embracing those diversity all around the world. And I'm happy that he's going there to share those messages to all of us.
The community is my family, as most recently with you on Thanksgiving. To have time with His Holiness was humbling, overwhelming, and I got to hear his speech, and then we talked afterwards, and he taught me so many lessons, and the one particularly I take to heart, once a friend, always a friend.
Our journey concludes in October 2019 at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris, where Huzoor delivered a keynote address. Speaking to dignitaries, diplomats, and leaders from various fields, he stressed the importance of respect, tolerance, and education for girls. Huzoor emphasized that there is no contradiction between science and religion.
We believe that Islam is a religion of love and compassion. And so we serve humanity without making any distinction based on the religion or ethnicity of those who we help. Where out of human sympathy, we seek to eradicate poverty and destitution. We also consider it to be the key to developing sustainable peace in the world.
Huzoor's addresses to parliaments are not mere formalities. They are impassioned calls for transformation, urging leaders to put aside personal and national interests in pursuit of a better world. He seeks to awaken the conscience of leaders and inspire them to take bold actions that lead us closer to a world defined by peace, justice, and the protection of every individual's rights.
अमृत है तेरे बोल तो पैगाम जिंदगी, अमृत है तेरे बोल तो पैगाम जिंदगी, तेरे सिवा नहीं कोई आवाज वक्त की। अहमदियत जिंदाबाद।
In a world divided by conflicts and misunderstandings, there emerges a figure who tirelessly works to bridge the gaps, foster peace, and unite hearts. This documentary explores the remarkable journey of Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, the fifth Khalifa of the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and his invaluable contributions to promoting interfaith harmony and bringing people closer to their Creator. So let's follow the journey of Hazrat Khalifatul-Masih V through the lens of the media.
आज हर जर्रा सरे तूर नजर आता है, जिस तरफ देखो वही नूर नजर आता है। आज हर एक है मुश्ताक लिकाए शहीदी, घर में बैठा कोई रह जाए मुमकिन ही नहीं। गुलशने हजरत अहमद में चली बाद बहार, अब्र रहमत से बरसने लगे पैहम अनवार।
جی ناظرین، اسٹوڈیوز میں ایک دفعہ پھر خوش آمدید آپ کو. اور آپ نے ابھی مختصر سی جھلکیاں دیکھیں جو کہ کل آپ کو ایک ڈاکیومنٹری دکھائی جائے گی جس میں حضرت خلیفۃ المسیح ایدہ اللہ تعالیٰ بنصر العزیز کی پچھلے 20 سال سے اسلام کی دفاع کی کوششیں اور اسلام کی خوبصورت تعلیمات کو دنیا کے کونے کونے تک پھیلانے سے متعلق ہے. تو اس کو ضرور دیکھیے گا. ناظرین، اس وقت ہمارے ساتھ الفضل انٹرنیشنل کے نمائندہ محترم سید احسان صاحب موجود ہیں. ہم سید احسان صاحب کے ساتھ کچھ بات کرتے ہیں. السلام علیکم احسان صاحب. احسان صاحب، الفضل کی جو اخبار ہے یہ ماشاءاللہ آپ دیکھیں وقت کے ساتھ ساتھ جیسے جیسے ٹیکنالوجی نے گرو کیا ہے تو اس نے الفضل اخبار جو ہے یہ بھی اب ہوتے ہوتے سوشل میڈیا اور جو سوشل میڈیا سے آگے یعنی پرنٹ میڈیا میں سے ہو کے اب یہ آن لائن بھی آ گئی ہے الفضل اخبار جو ہے. اور جو جدید ذرائع ہیں کمیونیکیشن کے اب ان کے ساتھ اللہ کے فضل سے ساتھ ساتھ چل رہی ہے. تو اس حوالے سے تھوڑی سی اپڈیٹ اگر کریں ناظرین.
جیسا کہ آج حضور بائیۃ اللہ تعالیٰ عزیز نے اپنے خطاب میں ذکر فرمایا تھا کہ اللہ تعالیٰ کے فضل سے امسال 23 مارچ سے الفضل روزنامہ ہو گیا ہے, اور اللہ تعالیٰ کا بہت بڑا فضل ہے کہ جماعت کو جہاں پہ ہر شعبے میں ترقیات حاصل ہو رہی ہیں, اس ادارے نے بھی خلافت کے زیر سایہ ترقیات کی منازل طے کی ہیں. اور اس میں جیسا کہ آپ نے ذکر کیا, پہلے زمانے میں پرنٹ ہوتا تھا, اور آج اللہ کے فضل سے آن لائن بھی ہے, سوشل میڈیا کے پلیٹ فارمز, تمام پلیٹ فارمز بھی یہ ہے. اور جلسے کے حوالے سے خاص طور پہ ہم نے پچھلے سال شروع کیا تھا, جیسا کہ آپ جھلکیاں بھی دیکھ سکتے ہیں پیچھے, کہ ایک خصوصی لائیو پیج اس کے حوالے سے ہم نے شروع کیا ہے. اور اس سال بھی ہم نے اسی کو جاری رکھتے ہوئے مختلف اپڈیٹس ہم لمحہ بلمحہ دے رہے ہیں. اس میں ایک تو یہ ہے کہ جو جلسے کی کارروائی ہے اس کا ذکر آتا ہے, اس کے علاوہ مختلف شعبہ جات ہیں اور جلسے کے مناظر ہیں, ماحول ہے, اس کا کچھ جھلکیاں دکھائی جاتی ہیں. اور پھر یہ کہ ٹریفک کے حوالے سے کوئی اپڈیٹ ہو یا موسم کے حوالے سے کوئی اپڈیٹ ہو, تو بھی ہماری کوشش ہوتی ہے کہ جو ہمارے پڑھنے والے ہیں, جو استفادہ کرنے والے ہیں, وہ سب اس لائیو پیج کے ذریعے سے ان کو تمام قسم کی وہی انفارمیشن مل جائے جو ان کو جلسے کے لیے جو ان کو ضرورت ہے اس کی.
اور اس میں کوئی جو جلسہ مثال کے طور پہ سارے دن کی جو کارروائی ہے جلسے کی, اس کے حوالے سے بھی
جیسا آپ دیکھ سکتے ہیں یہ پیچھے, یہ کل ہم نے شائع کیا تھا. یہ ضمیمہ ہوتا ہے ہمارا, روز ہر دن کے حساب سے آتا ہے, جمعہ ہفتہ اتوار, اور یہ شروع سے لے کے جب دن کا آغاز ہوتا ہے تہجد کی نماز سے لے کر نماز عشاء تک جو بھی یہاں پہ کارروائی ہوتی ہے, پروگرامز ہوتے ہیں, نمازیں ہوتی ہیں, مختلف شعبہ جات آتے ہیں, اس میں ان کا سب کا خلاصتاً یہاں پہ ذکر ہوتا ہے. اور جو چاہے اس میں سے تاریخ کو بھی محفوظ کرنے کے لیے یہ ایک ذریعہ اختیار کیا گیا ہے کہ اس میں مطلب کہ جو سارا جو ایک دن کی کارروائی ہے وہ ایک جگہ پہ ہمارے پاس آ جائیں.
بالکل درست, بالکل درست. اچھا, اس میں جیسے مختلف جو سوشل میڈیا پلیٹ فارمس ہیں اس میں فیڈ بیک کا بھی ایک ہوتا ہے بعض اوقات.
اس میں بھی ہے, اگر آپ ہماری لائیو پیج پہ بھی جائیں تو وہاں پہ بھی آپ کو وہاں پہ مل جائے گا رابطے کی تفصیلات. اس میں یہ کہ آپ واٹس ایپ کے ذریعے, ای میل کے ذریعے, میسیجز کے ذریعے آپ اپنے پیغامات بھی بھیج سکتے ہیں. بہت سارے احباب, کیونکہ یہ دعاؤں کے دن ہوتے ہیں, احمدی دنیا بھر میں بیٹھ کے دعائیں کر رہے ہیں, تو جو اپنے دعاؤں کا اعلان بھی کرانا چاہتے ہیں وہ بھی ایک سلسلہ ہمارے پاس ہے کہ لوگ اپنے مختلف مسائل کے حوالے سے اس میں ہمیں دعا کا اعلان بھیجتے ہیں.
تو اس کا مطلب ہے آپ کو موصول ہوتے رہتے ہیں؟
ہاں جی, اس میں ہم اپڈیٹس بھی ساتھ ساتھ دیتے ہیں, جو احباب بھیجتے ہیں وہ بھیجنا چاہیں وہ ہمیں اس پہ بھیج سکتے ہیں.
تو دنیا میں کہاں سے آپ کو آتے ہوں گے؟ ساری
دنیا بھر میں, افریقہ بھی ہے, اس میں امریکہ ہے, یورپ ہے, دنیا کا کوئی کونا نہیں جہاں سے پیغام نہ آتا ہو. اللہ کے فضل سے بین الاقوامی جماعت ہے, ہر کونے میں ایسے احباب موجود ہیں جو اردو جانتے ہیں, اردو پڑھنا جانتے ہیں. یہ بھی اللہ کا ایک خاص فضل ہے اردو زبان کے حوالے سے بھی, کہ ایک زبان جو بظاہر ایک ملک کی زبان ہے لیکن اللہ تعالیٰ نے اس زبان کو ایک عالمگیر زبان بنا دی ہے حضرت مسیح علیہ السلام کی وجہ سے.
ماشاءاللہ, بالکل درست بات ہے. اچھا, یہ جو فیڈ بیک کے حوالے سے بھی ہم نے بات کی, تو اب جیسے جلسے کا ماحول ہے ماشاءاللہ, یو کے کا جلسہ تو اب ایک عالمگیر جلسے کی حیثیت اختیار کر چکا ہے. تو اچھا, ایسے ہے احسان صاحب, جزاک اللہ سب سے پہلے تو آپ نے وقت دیا ہے. ناظرین, ہمارے جو کولیگز ہیں محترم مبارک صاحب اور رضا صاحب, وہ اس وقت باہر ہیں فلیگ ایریا میں, اور دیکھتے ہیں کہ وہ باہر احباب سے کچھ گفتگو کر رہے ہوں گے, تو دیکھتے ہیں کیا بات کرتے ہیں وہ, ان کے پاس چلتے ہیں. رضا صاحب, مبارک صاحب.
جی, السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. جلسہ سالانہ کا دوسرا دن, جلسے گاہ سے کارروائی ختم ہو گئی ہے, اختتام پذیر ہوئی ہے. اس وقت بہت سے احباب جو ہیں وہ کھانے کی مارکیوں کی طرف بھی جا رہے ہیں, اور اس کے علاوہ بہت سے احباب جو ہیں وہ جو مختلف شعبہ جات کی ایگزیبیشن لگائی گئی ہیں وہاں بھی جا رہے ہیں. لیکن جو آج کی اجلاس کی جو جلسے کی سب سے بڑی بات, رضا صاحب, اللہ تعالیٰ کے فضل کے ساتھ حضرت امیر المومنین ایدہ اللہ تعالیٰ بنصر العزیز نے اپنے خطاب میں بتایا کس طرح پوری دنیا میں ہر شعبے میں جماعت احمدیہ ترقیات کی منازل طے کرتی جا رہی ہے. اللہ تعالیٰ کا فضل ہے, اللہ تعالیٰ کی تائید و نصرت ہے, خلافت کی برکات ہیں. ورنہ اگر دنیا کی نگاہ سے دیکھا جائے بڑی چھوٹی سی جماعت ہے, کوئی بڑی حکومت یا کوئی ایک حکومت بھی اس کے ساتھ نہیں ہے. بڑی بڑی حکومتیں جو کہ دنیاوی دولت سے مالا مال ہیں وہ اسلام کی اس طرح خدمت نہیں کر پا رہی جس طرح یہ چھوٹی سی جماعت, خدائی جماعت, جس کے ساتھ اللہ تعالیٰ کی تائید و نصرت ہے, कुरान करीम के तराजम शाया किए जा रहे हैं, कुरान करीम शाया किया जा रहा है, और ना सिर्फ शाया किया जा रहा है, दुनिया के दूर दराज ममालिक में पहुँचाया जा रहा है। MTA इंटरनेशनल का आगाज़ होता है और हुजूर अनवर अय्यदहुल्लाह ताला बिन नस्ल अज़ीज़ की बाबरकत रहनुमाई से अब 8 चैनल जो हैं वो पूरी दुनिया में तबलीग इस्लाम कर रहे हैं, खिदमत खल्क़ के काम हो रहे हैं अल्लाह ताला के फल के साथ। और हज़रत अक़दस मसीह मऊद अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम का वो शेर देखो, खुदा ने एक जहाँ को झुका दिया, गुमनाम पाके शोहराए आलम बना दिया। कादियान से उठने वाली वो आवाज़ जो है आज आप ख़ुद देख सकते हैं। आज जब हज़रत अमीरुल मोमिनीन अय्यदहुल्लाह ताला बिन नस्ल अज़ीज़ खिताब फरमा रहे थे तो स्क्रीन पे आप देख सकते थे 100 से ज़्यादा ममालिक, जी नाजरीन 100 से ज़्यादा ममालिक में अहबाब जो थे वो हम यहाँ बैठे हुए हम भी उनको देख सकते थे। ये सब अल्लाह ताला के फ़ज़ल की बारिशें हैं रज़ा साहब।
Indeed, Mubarak Sahib, 217,168 individuals from more than 100 countries. You have Quran exhibitions, you have translations of the Holy Quran in different languages. You have schools, you have radio stations, you have MTA, and so much more that has been introduced, financed, run by the members of the Jamaat. I mean, we were speaking about the Jalsa organization itself. To set up everything that we see, to establish a city in the middle of nowhere, to run it from the first to the last volunteer, and not get paid, and do it for the sake of Allah, do it for the sake of the Khalifa of the time, do it for the sake of Islam and for the propagation of Islam, that is something that only and only the Ahmadiyya Muslim community can put to the forefront. That's something that I believe there's no harm in being proud of that. But having said that, as Huzur Anwar Ayyadullah Ta'ala ibn Aziz yesterday as well as today mentioned in his speeches to the Lajna and to the wider audience, that we need to put these things into action. There's one thing talking about it, but then there's one thing about putting these things into action, living what you preach, and the expectations that the promised Messiah ﷺ has from his Jamaat. But at every step, we see the divine favor, we see the divine help, we see the divine support. And again, Mark Sahib, we speak about the progress in 1 year. And even this, what Huzur Anwar mentioned, we know that every year it's the same thing, that Huzur has to skip so many pages because there's just not enough time.
जी 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 हुजूर अनवर ने फरमाया कि ऐसे बहुत से और भी वाक़यात हैं। और रज़ा साहब ये है कि अल्लाह ताला लोगों को ख्वाबें दिखा रहा है, ख्वाब में वो हुजूर अनवर का दीदार करते हैं। रज़ा साहब, मुझे पिछले दिनों एक नौजवान से मिलने का मौका मिला। वो कहने लगा कि मुझे ख्वाब में एक बुज़ुर्ग बार बार मुझे दिखाई दे रहे थे। तो एक दफ़ा मैं किसी दफ्तर में गया किसी अहमदी आदमी के, और वहाँ पे एक तस्वीर लगी हुई थी, और मैंने कहा कि ये किसकी तस्वीर है। तो वो कहते कि शायद किसी मसलहत के तहत, उन्होंने मुझे नहीं बताया, और वो कहते मैं ढूंढता रहा कि ये किस शख्स की तस्वीर है, क्योंकि ख्वाब में मुझे अल्लाह ताला ने बताया था कि इस वक्त दुनिया का ये शख्स इमाम है। और वो कहते ढूंढते ढूंढते मैंने अहमदियत कबूल की है। और हुजूर अनवर ने आज जैसे आपने फरमाया, आपने बताया कि हुजूर अनवर ने फरमाया है कि बहुत से ऐसे वाक़यात हैं कबूलियत दुआ के। और फिर आपने देखा होगा जब हुजूर अनवर ने फरमाया 2 लाख से ज़्यादा 2,17,000 से ज़्यादा जो हैं अहबाब ने बैत की है, तो कैसे अहबाब के चेहरे खिल उठे थे, दिल गुलाब और नारे तकबीर से।
It's indeed magnificent, and as I said before, alhamdulillah, that we are able to witness this day today. With that, we're going to get back into the studio and continue that little bit of broadcast that we still have left.
Ji, Jazakallah Sahab and Barak Sahab. We are here with Rahman Basit from Al-Hakam to share with us some Al-Hakam live updates. So what do you got on the agenda today?
So this year it's a brand new feature, live.alhakam.org. So we've been covering Jalsa coverage every single year, all the speeches, everything that's going on. But this year we've got a live website. So on that website, every half an hour, every hour, we're putting live updates on there. So So from the educational speeches to the exhibitions to the Jalsa atmosphere and the bazaar and everything else.
So we got live.alhakam.org.
Exactly.
So what are we looking at here?
So if they want to go onto the live, the actual homepage of Al Hakam, on top there'll be a banner that says live.alhakam.org. So you click on that, and then this is the homepage that you're met with. So you go on to the next one, and what we see, live updates. So literally there was a address going on, and so we went behind the scenes to the MTA translation, took a picture, just put it up. And simple things like this, it makes the people that are unable to attend the Jalsa, they can witness this, they can open this on their phone, just go through it whenever they get time. Like BBC, like Sky News, they have these features.
It's helpful to see the workers working, what kind of setup do they have, right?
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of people don't see this. Even people that come to the Jalsa, when they go and attend the speeches and stuff, they don't get to see this behind the scenes. So it's very good to put this out there for people to have a look at what's going on.
So people at home kind of have a better look at Jalsa than those who are here. Interesting, all right, that's cool. But hopefully that doesn't keep them at home.
Yeah,
Inshallah, we want you to come to Jalsa, of course. Yeah.
And we try and keep it not just inside the marquee. So we try and get you a flavour of everything that's going on, from outside to the roti plant to the butchery to the people listening outside, from the green area. It's sort of access all areas. So not everyone has access all areas.
I actually pitched a tent in the tent area.
Yeah.
But it was too far from
me. We might have to get you in the next piece.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's tents as far as the eye can see. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
Really well laid out.
And like breakfast as well. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, namazing, everything else that's going on. Also informational as well. So the program for the day ahead. So they can go on this in the morning, have a look at what they have in store. And weather updates, for example. And so we do it from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I can tell the viewers that we've had to update the weather many times. It's raining every maybe 37 minutes, and you never know.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But yeah, mashallah, this is great. This is excellent. So for the viewers who are at home, make sure you go to live.alhakam.org to check out what's going here behind the scenes and even on the scenes as well. So we talked earlier about the Jalsa machine. Now we're going to talk about a different part of the Jalsa machine and how it's facilitating and accommodating attendees with special educational needs and disabilities. We're also going to learn a little bit more about who was the furthest attendee.
Mi nombre es Juan Manuel Osinaga Arteaga y esta es mi historia. Vine de Bolivia. La principal motivación por la que vine serían dos, ¿no? Una sería la de interactuar con más personas musulmanes ahmadíes, de conocer esa fe ardiente que tienen las demás personas. Y la otra razón sería para poder conocer al Jalifa, ¿no? Personalmente, tener una audiencia con él y poder ver, nosotros creemos que el Jalifa es el representante de Dios, entonces poder estar ante él es una gran oportunidad para mí, ¿no? Es mi primera vez en un Jalsa tan grande como es el de aquí, de Londres. Entonces ya estuve en otros Jalsas como ser el de Paraguay y de Uruguay. Bueno, son un poco más pequeños en comparación con este Jalsa, ¿no? Pero la experiencia es un poco parecida, ¿no? La de tener a muchas personas que tienen la misma creencia que ti, que creen en el mismo Dios. Entonces tener y estar rodeado de ese tipo de fraternidad con los hermanos, orando al mismo Dios, orando a Allah. Entonces esa emoción que se siente en el corazón de estar rodeados de personas con tu misma creencia, esa es una buena motivación para invitarles a las demás personas a asistir a los Jalsas que se hacen, ¿no? Para que puedan participar. La experiencia que más me motivó, que es más bonita para mí, es la de poder rezar en grupo, así en un grupo grande, ¿no? Entonces hay esa emoción en el corazón, ¿no? De saber que estás rodeado de personas que tienen la misma creencia que ti, que confían y creen en el mismo Dios, tienen al mismo líder.
Jalsa Salana, Jalsa Salana, Jalsa Salana, Jalsa Salana, Jalsa Salana.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Zubda and I live in Ghana. I'll be traveling to the Jalsa Salana UK. I am so excited. I'll be telling you all about my Jalsa journey. Let's go.
Wakwaba Jalsa Salana, Yamam Wakwaba Jalsa Salana, Ahlan wa sahlan Jalsa Salana, खुशामदी जलसा सालाना जलसा सालाना जलसा सालाना जलसा सालाना
I've arrived at Ghana's International Airport. I'm traveling from Accra to London. The journey will take 11 hours. I can't wait to meet my friends and family from around the world. But the best part will be seeing beloved Huzoor.
Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa
Assalamu alaikum. I've arrived at Jalsa Salana UK 2023. I'm going to enter Jalsa Salana, but first I have to show my ID card.
Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Khushamdi Jalsa Salana Ahlan wa sahlan Jalsa Salana Yammam wa kwaba
The weather is so muddy today. Oops, my shoes are so dirty. I'm hungry. Let's go and see what's for lunch.
Khushamdi Jalsa Salana Ahlan wa sahlan Jalsa Salana
This looks delicious.
Khushamdi Jalsa Salana Ahlan wa sahlan
I heard there's a new exciting board game at Ishaq. Let's go and check it out. But first, I have to find a buggy.
Yammam wa kwaba Jalsa
Look, I
Salana
found a buggy. Let's ride to Ishaq.
Niyayahi Jalsa Salana Ahlan wa sahlan Jalsa Salana Khushamdi Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana Jalsa Salana.
I'm going to ask my mom if I can buy this. The highlight of my day was seeing beloved Huzoor.
Yammam wa kwaba
I'm serving as Nazim Send, Special Educational Needs and Disabilities Department. Essentially, the Special Educational Needs and Disabilities Department is providing a respite facility for the parents and their children. This is something that we did last year. We trialed that last year, and this year we now have a formal department in place. And what we're providing is an area for parents and especially the children to attend Jalsa and have a place where they could come away from the noise and the crowd and the hubbub, and for the parents to actually enjoy the Jalsa as well at the same time. There are 7 members this year. Last year we had 4 members, so we're now increasing that team, and we're also increasing the facilities as well within the San Marquee itself. Huzoor Akhtas has given guidance in terms of this Jalsa is for all members of the Jamaat. So inclusivity of those members that have special educational needs and disabilities is also part and parcel of that. Some of the challenges that we're facing is trying to make sure that the parents actually understand the type of facilities that we have available here for them. So trying to actually convey that message to them has been I wouldn't say challenging, but we're trying to get that communication to them. So hopefully this year will be a landmark year for us in terms of that. It's a respite area. So we as a team aren't trained, obviously, but what we are able to do is provide the support that the parents need. We have certain games, toys, heavy blankets, so when certain children become quite distressed, then those heavy blankets become quite useful. We have a dark tent as well if they want to rest away from the noise and the light. It's also for the parents to get together as well, for them to actually communicate with each other in terms of what challenges they're facing in day-to-day life and how can they overcome them. They may not know that there is a special education needs and disabilities department, right, this year at Jalsa Salana. So, that's one of the things that we're trying our best to actually get that message out. And one of the other things that we're trying to do is we're working with the auxiliary organizations. I mean, Lajna Allah have been years ahead of us in terms of organizing special education needs and disabilities for Jalsa Salana and for their events as well. So we've learned a lot from them. So in terms of what we are trying to do is actually provide that facility at the auxiliary level as well. So, getting involved with Khulam al-MTA, getting involved with Ansarullah as well, making sure that this type of facility is actually available in all major events as far as the Jamaat is concerned. Without the department, we would be neglecting a good proportion of members where they have been affected by, for example, special education needs and disabilities, right? So their children will not be able to join in the Jalsa Salana blessings. The parents would not be able to come, and this has been happening for a number of years now. So by not having this facility, they will be missing out on a lot, and they have been for many years. So hopefully this is going to be a good opportunity for them to attend Jalsas going forward, inshallah.
What a beautiful new addition to Jalsa Salana, the Send area. MashaAllah, well done to the team and looking forward to expanding in the future. Now, Marbi Saab, what is the latest on social media?
Well, Salam Saab, it's been a jam-packed day. So much has been going on. Two amazing, inspiring speeches of beloved Huzur. One of the greatest highlights that we want to show and showcase is the amount of new Ahmadis this year, 217,168. So much work goes on the ground in so many different ways, and it's amazing to see how Allah the Almighty guides people's hearts towards this truthful community. And then, of course, we've got to show your pictures all day, even up walking towards the studio. I've been getting people saying, please can you show my child on your social media live segment, because there are so many coming in from all over the world, little kids saying Jalsa Mubarak.
Love it.
You have Surayuddin from Masjid Fazl, even from our own grounds, sharing their pictures, enjoying the Jalsa Salana as well.
Now, we just talked about the furthest attendee, or who might be the furthest attendee. His skill seems to be watching from Micronesia.
I know.
Could be the furthest watcher.
Could
or
be.
The viewer, perhaps, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that name, I was like, where is that? I had no idea, but it must be from really far and they must be enjoying. And they even make the effort of dressing up as well. That's something that we really love. So if we go to the next slide, something for you, Salam Saab.
Okay.
We took a trip to the bazaar and we had to take a small clips just to show everyone what's going on in the bazaar. So many amazing things. So let's watch that now.
Take a look.
عليها فان كل من عليها فان كل من عليها فان
We're here in the Humanity First stall cooking food. So I'm here with Rabbi Saab. As you can see, we're very busy.
كل من عليها فان كل من عليها فان
At also I've tried to buy a ring, and for my dad as a present.
Okay, so I feel personally attacked here because it's dinner time, and if you could smell a video, I could smell that video. I am ready to go for dinner.
You know where we're going after this.
I still have a hunger for longer, though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can never be longer. The bazaar is there to compensate that as well.
For sure.
One of the questions, we'll answer this as well together. What is your spiritual goal for this Jalsa Salana?
Brilliant question.
More connecting with the Huzur and making dua, love of Allah, be humble, dua and instructions from Hadeeqa-tul-Mahdi the 5th. So many things. What would be yours?
Mine is to get closer to all my brothers here and with Huzur, of course, as well. Now let's take it over to the field and see what's going on.
I'm not sure if you can smell it. Well, we can certainly smell that aloo gosht, and that wind is blowing right into our direction because the dining marquee is right there in front of us, and pretty much everyone is making their way to their dinner. Jazakallah for that. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to leave you with tomorrow's schedule. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. GMT, the session, the men's session, the final fourth session of the morning is going to start here in Hadeeqa-tul-Mahdi. At 11:30 GMT, the preparations for the Bai'at will start and everybody will make their way into the men's marquee. And then finally at 3 p.m. GMT, the final session is going to start here in Hadeeqa-tul-Mahdi. Of course, that will be preceded with some of the comments of the dignitaries who have made it here to Hadeeqa-tul-Mahdi.
जज़ाकल्लाह। और हमारी जो नशरियात हैं आज के दिन की इख्तिताम को पहुंच रही हैं। जैसे कि आप कैमरे की आंख से देख सकते हैं, मौसम बहुत खुशगवार है, हवा चल रही है, सूरज निकला हुआ है और मौसम पहले भी खूबसूरत था और जब प्यारे हुजूर का खिताब सुना तो दिल और भी गुलाब हो गए हैं। यहाँ हम आपको बताते चलें कि आज जो मौसम की पेशगोई ये थी कि आज बारिश होगी, मौसम ख़राब रहेगा, लेकिन अल्लाह ताला के फल के साथ मौसम बहुत खूबसूरत है। लेकिन यहाँ हम आपको एक ये भी बात बताते चलें कि ये जो मौसम की ख़बर हम आपको सिर्फ़ आपकी इत्तला के लिए देते हैं। वैसे अल्लाह ताला के फल के साथ सर्दी हो, गर्मी हो, कोई मौसम हो, जमात अहमदिया के प्रोग्राम होते रहेंगे और हो रहे हैं क्योंकि अल्लाह ताला की ताईद जो है वो खलीफा वक्त के साथ है। कल के प्रोग्राम का हम बताते चलें, कल इंशाअल्लाह अज़ीज़ GMT के वक्त के मुताबिक 8 बजे MTA की नशरियात शुरू हो जाएंगी, 9 बजे जलसा गाह में कार्रवाई शुरू हो जाएगी और 11:30 पे आलमी बैत की तकरीब मुनाकिद होगी और GMT वक्त के मुताबिक 3 बजे इख्तितामी खिताब होगा। इंशाअल्लाह कल सुबह 8 बजे GMT के वक्त के मुताबिक आपसे मुलाकात होगी। इस वक्त हम प्रेजेंटर्स को जो यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं या हदीक़ातुल-महदी में जहाँ जहाँ मौजूद हैं उन्हें इजाज़त दीजिए। हमारे कैमरे के जो पीछे दोस्त हैं और MTA की जो बहुत बड़ी टीम से तमाम प्रोग्राम आप तक पहुँचा रही है, सबको इजाज़त दीजिए। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।